For our third and final story before the weekend, the Chainsmokers. They just raised their third venture capital fund. This time, they raised $100 million.
This musical duo has created a whole new form of entrepreneurship, but their secret is their schedule.
Yetis, Mike Posner took a pill in Ibiza, but the Chainsmokers, they took a pitch deck to Ibiza.
Very true. Alex Paul and Drew Taggart, they began making music together in New York City in 2012. And they chose the name the Chainsmokers, even though neither of them smokes.
But today, they're the most financially innovative music group, in our opinion, since Beethoven's 9th IPO.
They chose the Chainsmokers because it was a cool name and it had good SEO.
That's right. And that's why you're listening to them. After 8 years of getting famous with EDM beats, they raised their first venture capital fund in 2020.
But they just closed their third venture capital fund this week. They now have $225 million under management as VCs.
All right, Jack, let's jump in TBOY style to the portfolio. They've done 170 deals so far.
The Chainsmokers invested in Liquid Death and Coinbase before Coinbase went public.
Now, the founders of these companies love the Chainsmokers because they host parties with VIPs and can distribute the products.
We read in TechCrunch that the Chainsmokers have played private shows for the majority of the Fortune 500 companies. They've played private gigs at 250 companies, at least. Yetis, if you did your
holiday party
and the Chainsmokers performed live, let us know in the comments.
To quote the Chainsmokers, Jack, I want something just like this.
But each of those corporate shows is a networking opportunity for fundraising and deal flow.
They're raising millions off the gigs. In fact, do you want to know how deep into venture capital the Chainsmokers music group is? How deep, Jack?
Their last concert in San Francisco, Drew, one of the Chainsmokers, held up a big sign to the audience telling everyone to follow Alex on LinkedIn. They're LinkedIn VC thought leaders.
So you can listen to their songs on Spotify, but then get their hot takes on product market fit on LinkedIn.
But here's why we wanted to cover this story. The Chainsmokers are pioneering a new form of entrepreneurship.
Now, Yetis, Jack and I have told you about the celebripreneurship industry before, but we see it as having two different models, the founder model and the funder model.
The funder model is what Ashton Kutcher does.
He's an angel investor in Uber and Airbnb, but he's passive in those investments.
The founder model is more active, like Kim Kardashian.
She's not just an investor and owner in Skims, she's an active creator in the Skims brand.
But the Chainsmokers have found a third type. They have institutionalized their celebrity for entrepreneurship.
Like, they're not founders, but they're not angel investors. What they've done is create a bona fide venture capital firm, and it's named Mantis.
Mantis has a team of analysts, an office in San Francisco, just like every other VC.
And they've built their own proprietary technology for assessing companies that they're going to invest in.
Kim Kardashian and Ashton, they put up their own money to launch and fund startups.
But here's the distinction. The Chainsmokers venture capital firm invests other people's money as VCs.
And they still have time to drop a beat at PepsiCo's Christmas party this year.
So, Jack, what's the takeaway? And I don't mean the song takeaway that the Chainsmokers dropped in 2019. What's the business takeaway for our buddies over at the Chainsmokers?
Your scale is limited by your schedule.
Yetis, when Jack and I study successful people, we're always curious about seemingly mundane details and how they do their days.
Seemingly mundane details like their schedule, because often those details can be key to success.
Well, the Chainsmokers did a great interview with Bloomberg, and in the interview, Alex talked about how he approaches his day. And how does he do it, Jack?
The first half of the day, he focuses completely on VC. He meets companies, he reviews decks, he goes through startup strategies.
Then in the afternoon, that's when he shifts to his music gear, when he writes songs, preps shows, and actually does performances.
It's called time boxing. We do it for our daily show too.
We do.
We only take meetings from 9 to 11 because we have to focus on this show from 11 to 6.
We also only take meetings on certain days. Like, we'll only do business meetings on Wednesdays. And Thursdays because we box the time we spend on different things.
When do we do our second show? The best idea yet? On Tuesdays. We are time boxing extraordinaires.
Everything. And time boxing. Time boxing is how the Chainsmokers can run a Grammy Award-winning band and a VC.